Times may change, but Bob and Terry will always be the likely lads.
In the chocolate box of life, the top layer's already gone.
Not for your beer, but I've only got 6 cans.
Oh, look at that. She's never yours. But she's beautiful.
The movie version of The Likely Lads, Thursday at 10:40.
On Meridian News, the court hears how a clerk sacked for stealing £1.50 murders his employer 8 years later. Join me, Andy Stegeloff, for national and international news.
From ITN, News at 10 with Trevor McDonald.
Europe's formula to end the ban on British beef. Football fever, ecstatic fans chase the next England ticket. Mount Ruapehu's spectacular display in New Zealand. And a new warning on the dangers of the summer sun. Good evening. Britain and the rest of Europe move significantly closer today to agreeing a formula to get the beef ban lifted. Beyond what Britain has itself suggested, thousands of extra cattle would have to be slaughtered, and the government would have to drop its non-cooperation policy. The European Commission's proposal now go to a summit in Italy at the weekend. However, no timetable has been written in, so there's still no clear indication of when the ban might actually end. Here's our political editor, Michael Brunson.
The day appeared to begin badly for Britain, with tough words from European Commission President Jacques Santer to the European Parliament. He condemned Britain's non-cooperation policy in Europe and said it must end as part of any deal.
Sans cet engagement, il n'y aura pas d'accord à Florence.
Without that, he said, there'll be no agreement in Florence, adding that people shouldn't play games with Europe's health. That was a sentiment strongly endorsed by one German MEP.
The health of the consumer and the end of this disease are the conditions for the final ban of the export.
Tonight, the German Chancellor Helmut Kohl has been in Manchester for the Germany-Italy game. On BSE, he's taken a tough line with Britain thus far. It's still not clear if he thinks the new Commission plan goes far enough. What Britain must do, says the Commission, is to slaughter up to 67,000 more cattle. Britain says for technical reasons it'll be less and voluntary. That may be a problem. Britain must also identify and track the movements of all cattle in the UK. We must bring in new laws to completely eliminate contaminated feed. That, incidentally, could mean the early lifting of the ban on the export of calves. And the government must tighten up the procedures for separating offal, which might just contain BSE, in slaughterhouses here. Today, Agriculture Minister Douglas Hogg was at the county show in Lincolnshire. His officials confirmed that the nature of the deal means that no precise date is set for the ending of the beef ban. That's caused a political row tonight.
They've settled for a piece of paper that has no timetable and no guarantees. And every step along the road is going to have to be approved by 5 separate committees.
That is absolute rubbish, but you expect that from the opposition. That's what opposition's for. The committees that it has to go to are advisory committees to advise the Commission. That will happen quickly, and indeed we ourselves insisted that the Commission must take its decision based on scientific advice. That's the whole point.
If Mr. Major gets his deal in Florence, and that is now looking possible, his job won't be over. He'll have to come back here and convince MPs that in return for lifting his block on business in Europe, he has got a genuinely speedy lifting of the ban, perhaps starting in September, and that he hasn't just got in for a climb down. Michael Brunson, News at 10, Westminster.
The England football team were back in training today after their victory over Holland last night. The coach, Terry Venables, said they had to get their feet back on the ground and warned that the quarter-final against Spain on Saturday would be tough. The fans, including the politicians, can hardly wait, as ITN's Terry Lloyd reports.
Wembley fever became infectious today as